Question 1. Who was thrown into the fiery furnace by Nebuchadnezzar? A. Daniel. B. Mordecai. C. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. D. Ezekiel. The right answer is letter C. Nebuchadnezzar was furious with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and his attitude toward them changed. He ordered the furnace heated 7 times hotter than usual and commanded some of the strongest soldiers in his army to tie up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and throw them into the blazing furnace. Question 2. What animal did God use to transport Elijah to heaven? A. Horse. B. Chariot of fire. C. Lion. D. Great fish. The right answer is letter B. Nevertheless, if you see me as I am taken from you, it will be yours. But if not, then it will not be so. As they were walking along and talking together, suddenly a chariot of fire with horses of fire appeared and separated the two of them, and Elijah went up into heaven in a whirlwind. Question 3. In what year did the Babylonian captivity of Judah begin? A. 605 BC. B. 586 BC. C. 597 BC. D. 722 BC. The right answer is letter C. The first significant deportation of Judah to Babylon occurred in 597 BC, when King Nebuchadnezzar besieged Jerusalem and took King Jehoiakim, along with many others, captive to Babylon. Question 4. Who was the first person to see the resurrected Christ according to the Gospel accounts? A. Mary Magdalene. B. John. C. Peter. D. James. The right answer is letter A. Woman, why are you weeping? Jesus asked. Whom are you seeking? Thinking he was the gardener, she said, Sir, if you have carried him off, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him. Jesus said to her, Mary. She turned and said to him in Hebrew, See, Rabboni, which means teacher. Question 5. What was the sign that God gave to Gideon involving fleece? A. Fleece wet with dew while ground was dry. B. Fleece dry while ground was wet with dew. C. Fleece turned into gold. D. Fleece consumed by fire. The right answer is letter B. Then Gideon said to God, Do not be angry with me. Let me make just one more request. Allow me one more test with the fleece, but this time make the fleece dry and let the ground be covered with dew. That night God did so. Only the fleece was dry. All the ground was covered with dew. Question 6. Who was the prophet that God told to marry a prostitute? A. Isaiah. B. Amos. C. Jeremiah. D. Hosea. The right answer is letter D. When the Lord began to speak through Hosea, the Lord said to him, Go, marry a promiscuous woman and have children with her, for like an adulterous wife, this land is guilty of unfaithfulness to the Lord. So he married Gomer, daughter of Diblaim. Question 7. What animal talked to Balaam when he was on his way to curse the Israelites? A. An eagle. B. A camel. C. A serpent. D. A donkey. The right answer is letter D. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you have beaten me these 3 times?" Balaam answered the donkey, "You have made a fool of me. If I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now." Question 8. Who interpreted Nebuchadnezzar's dream of a statue made of different metals? A. Daniel. B. Jeremiah. C. Ezekiel. D. Joseph. The right answer is letter A. Daniel replied, "There are 4 great beasts, each different from the others, that rose out of the sea." Daniel then explained that the statue's different parts represented successive kingdoms, starting with Nebuchadnezzar's own as the head of gold. Question 9. What was Jonah swallowed by? A. A whale. B. A large fish. C. A shark. D. A sea monster. The right answer is letter B. Then the men feared the Lord greatly, and they offered a sacrifice to the Lord and made vows to him. Now the Lord had appointed a great fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah spent 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the fish. Question 10. Who replaced Moses as the leader of the Israelites? A. Caleb. B. Joshua. C. Aaron. D. Eleazar. The right answer is letter B. Now Joshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom because Moses had laid his hands on him. So the Israelites obeyed him and did as the Lord had commanded Moses. Since that time, no prophet has risen in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. Question 11. In which year did King Solomon begin to build the temple in Jerusalem? A. 960 BC. B. 970 BC. C. 950 BC. D. 965 BC. The right answer is letter A. In the 480th year after the Israelites came out of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, in the month of Ziv, the 2nd month, he began to build the temple of the Lord. Question 12. Who was the king of Judea at the time of Jesus' birth? A. Herod Antipas. B. Pontius Pilate. C. Herod the Great. D. Tiberius. The right answer is letter C. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem asking, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star in the east and have come to worship him." Question 13. Which creature in the book of Revelation is described as having a body like a leopard, feet like a bear, and a mouth like a lion? A. The beast from the earth. B. The false prophet. C. The dragon. D. The beast from the sea. The right answer is letter D. There were 10 royal crowns on its horns and blasphemous names on its heads. The beast I saw was like a leopard, with the feet of a bear and the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave the beast his power and his throne and great authority. Question 14. Who had a vision of a scroll being eaten, which tasted as sweet as honey in his mouth? A. John. B. Isaiah. C. Daniel. D. Ezekiel. The right answer is letter D. Son of man, he said to me, eat what you find here. Eat this scroll, then go and speak to the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he fed me the scroll. Son of man, he said to me, eat and fill your stomach with this scroll I am giving you. So I ate, and it was as sweet as honey in my mouth. Question 15. Who was the Babylonian king who saw the writing on the wall? A. Nebuchadnezzar. B. Darius. C. Belshazzar. D. Cyrus. The right answer is letter C. King. Belshazzar gave a great banquet for 1,000 of his nobles and drank wine with them. While Belshazzar was drinking his wine, he gave orders to bring in the gold and silver goblets that Nebuchadnezzar his father had taken from the temple in Jerusalem. Question 16. What type of bird did Noah first send out from the ark to see if the flood waters had receded? A. Raven. B. Dove. C. Sparrow. D. Eagle. The right answer is letter A. After 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the ark and sent out a raven. It kept flying back and forth until the waters had dried up from the earth. Then Noah sent out a dove to see if the waters had receded from the surface of the ground. Question 17. Which prophet challenged the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel to call down fire from heaven? A. Elijah. B. Elisha. C. Nathan. D. Micaiah. The right answer is letter A. Then Elijah said to them, I am the only one of the Lord's prophets left, but Baal has 450 prophets. Get 2 bulls for us. Let them choose one for themselves, and let them cut it into pieces and put it on the wood, but not set fire to it. Question 18. Who was the mother of Ishmael? A. Sarah. B. Keturah. C. Hagar. D. Rebekah. The right answer is letter C. You are the God who sees me. For she said, Here I have seen the one who sees me. Therefore the well was called Bir Lahai Roi. It is located between Kadesh and Bered, and Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram gave the name Ishmael to the son she had born. Question 19. What type of tree was Zacchaeus in when Jesus saw him? A. Sycamore. B. Olive. C. Fig. D. Palm. The right answer is letter A. He was trying to see who Jesus was, but could not see over the crowd because he was small in stature, so he ran on ahead and climbed a sycamore tree to see him, since Jesus was about to pass that way. Question 20. Which book of the Bible is a love song between a bride and groom? A. Proverbs. B. Ruth. C. Hosea. D. Song of Solomon. The right answer is letter D. This is Solomon's Song of Songs. The bride. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. For your love is more delightful than wine. The fragrance of your perfume is pleasing. Your name is like perfume poured out. Question 21. Who was the high priest who had his garments renewed in a vision by the angel of the Lord? A. Eli. B. Aaron. C. Joshua. D. Phinehas. The right answer is letter C. Then he showed me Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right side to accuse him. The Lord said to Satan, "The Lord rebuke you, Satan. The Lord, who has chosen Jerusalem, rebuke you. Is not this man a burning stick snatched from the fire?" Question 22. What animal is described in the book of Job as having a tail like a cedar tree? A. Dragon. B. Leviathan. C. Serpent. D. Behemoth. The right answer is letter D. Look at Behemoth, which I made along with you. He feeds on grass like an ox. See the strength of his loins and the power in the muscles of his belly. His tail sways like a cedar. The sinews of his thighs are tightly knit. His bones are tubes of bronze. His limbs are rods of iron. Question 23. Who was the queen of Persia who saved her people from genocide? A. Esther. B. Vashti. C. Ruth. D. Deborah. The right answer is letter A. Esther. A Jewish queen of the Persian king Xerxes used her position to protect her people from a planned genocide. Question 24. What was the name of the angel who interpreted Daniel's visions? A. Gabriel. B. Michael. C. Raphael. D. Uriel. The right answer is letter A. While I, Daniel, was watching the vision and trying to understand it, there stood before me one having the appearance of a man. And I heard the voice of a man calling from between the banks of the Ulai, "Gabriel, explain the vision to this man." Question 25. What did Moses' staff turn into when he threw it on the ground before Pharaoh? A. A lion. B. A serpent. C. A scorpion. D. A dragon. The right answer is letter B. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "When Pharaoh tells you, perform a miracle, you are to say to Aaron, take your staff and throw it down before Pharaoh, and it will become a serpent." So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and did just as the Lord had commanded. Aaron threw his staff down before Pharaoh and his officials, and it became a serpent. Question 26. Who is known for defeating the Midianites with only 300 men using torches and trumpets? A. David. B. Samson. C. Saul. D. Gideon. The right answer is letter D. Gideon and the 100 men with him reached the edge of the camp at the beginning of the middle watch, just after they had changed the guard. They blew their trumpets and broke the jars that were in their hands. Question 27. What was the first plague that God sent upon Egypt? A. Locusts. B. Darkness. C. Blood. D. Frogs. The right answer is letter C. There will be blood throughout the land of Egypt, even in the vessels of wood and stone. Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded. In the presence of Pharaoh and his officials, Aaron raised the staff and struck the water of the Nile, and all the water was turned to blood. Question 28. Who was the longest-lived person recorded in the Bible, and how long did he live? A. Noah, 950 years. B. Methuselah, 969 years. C. Adam, 930 years. D. Jared, 962 years. The right answer is letter B. When Methuselah was 187 years old, he became the father of Lamech. And after he had become the father of Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had other sons and daughters. So Methuselah lived a total of 969 years, and then he died. Question 29. Which city's walls fell after the Israelites marched around them for 7 days? A. Jericho. B. Ai. C. Bethel. D. Gibeon. The right answer is letter A. So when the ram's horns sounded, the people shouted. When they heard the blast of the horn, the people gave a great shout, and the wall collapsed. Then all the people charged straight into the city and captured it. Question 30. How many times did Peter deny Jesus before the rooster crowed? A. Once. B. Twice. C. 3 times. D. 4 times. The right answer is letter C. But after I have risen, I will go ahead of you into Galilee. Peter said to him, Even if all fall away on account of you, I never will. Truly I tell you, Jesus declared, this very night before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Write on the comments how many questions you answered correctly. If you like this quiz, rate it with the like button. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Amen.